Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another twerk tale, right? So I'm currently in Miami, Florida. So let's backtrack a little bit. Went to Africa, went to Dubai, went back to New York, flew to LA where the Storytime takes place, and now I'm in Miami due to technical difficulties. Where's my planner? So I have my planner here so that it could better help me explain the story. So in this story time, she blamed me for her not making any money. Now, unless I own the club and I blackballed you, that's impossible. It's March 11th. This story time began February. Super Bowl weekend this year took place in LA, which was from the 11th to the technically like the 14th, February 14th. I flew out to LA from New York, like last minute. This girl had been asking me to come, get a hotel, we're gonna have a discount, blah, 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 blah. Came to LA. She was there the first night, which was like Thursday night by herself. I didn't fly out. I had a flight. I think I pushed it back or something happened. I got into a car accident. I was like irritated and annoyed, so I left like Friday. Did I leave Friday? Yeah, I left Friday. Yeah, I caught a flight. I had an accident Thursday, caught a flight. Okay, cool. So I get there. Thursday night, she didn't work. I'm not exactly sure why, but that was her thing. So Friday, whatever. We decided we're going to kind of like work together. So we're going to do like our stage sets and then like however the club goes. And when you go out of town, usually like there's sections and like, you know, you may not get in every section with the same person all the time. It's at the men's discretion or whoever's discretion it is, you know, who's gonna get picked. So in LA, the girls seemed very overly thirsty. Like, overly thirsty. It was crazy. Like, the DJ had to keep reminding the girls, like, but don't go to the section before they get their bottles. And it was just like, it wasn't really my vibe. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more of a, like, a artist, athlete, I guess, like, sectioner. Or like dope boy, I don't know, but I don't be in like little petty sections. It's not my thing. Like I usually don't get picked for them. I usually don't. They like, oh no, she's whatever. It was different for me. I was like, okay, I'm trying to get with it, right? So I didn't speak to the manager before working there. This is what she did on Thursday. She spoke to everybody to make sure she was in or whatever the case may be. So basically, I kind of just like went with her, like walked in the club, and when she said she was good, I was just behind her, like, I want her, like that kind of thing. Because I didn't get to speak to anybody, and like, you know, usually there's like a list or something like that, like, you know, ahead of time where you're going, who you're going, who's coming and stuff like that. So the first night, let me see, I made like $1,100, which is not good considering like flight, hotel, and everything else like that. Or my profit was $1,100. I'm not sure. I didn't feel like I made a lot of money. I felt like it was really weird. I felt like the girls was like, it was like, I don't want to be here kind of thing. I was like, okay, whatever. So Saturday came around. I did better, but I still felt like, you know, whatever. It could be something. So the girl was saying that she had guys that's out here she knows and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, things gonna be lit, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, we ended up getting on stage Friday. So they had like white garbage bags to use as money bags. I think I had left my money bag, or the money that I made, she put her like some money in the money bag, and she ended up keeping it, and I ended up getting a plastic bag. So when we went on stage, she went, and I would have thought that she would have tied up our bag and put it inside of her money bag. That's not what happened. Or did I have the money bag? I can't remember, but it was green like my hair. That's why I'm saying that. But I do know that all the bags were white, and I was she like tied the bag that we made on stage to her other bags, and I was kind of like, it's not really my ideal placement for the money that we need to split together. Not because it's in her possession, but just because that bag can be confused with another bag easily. Like, it's easy to forget throughout the night, like which bag is which, and I just didn't like that. I'd prefer her to tie it up and put it inside the bag. Okay, cool, no smoke. Saturday comes. Saturday, there's an issue with the stage. We get on stage together. At the end of the night, it was either Saturday or Sunday night, she ended up like misplacing the bag. So she wasn't sure if our stage set bag was this bag or if our stage set bag was that bag. And I had made money other places. I ended up dancing in the football players section. So I had brung her to a section. I was dancing with some other girls, and I was like, listen, we could dance here. The girl is smacking me on my butt. I'm gonna be honest, I still like my body is still like different from having liposuction. It's still raw. My skin hurts. Like if somebody tries to smack my butt, it hurts way more than it did before. But I'm dancing in front of her. She's like reaching over. Like I guess she liked me more than other girls. She was like making sure she grabbed me, and it's painful to me. And she's like, and I was like, oh babe, you know, like that hurts. And she's like, oh, okay. But it still hurt. So I was like, in LA, you don't get naked or anything like that. So I was just like, oh no, I can't do this. So when the section was over, they still had money. The other girls wanted to go other places and pick up the money. So I obliged, and I called her and I said, listen, this girl got like $1,000, you know, her boyfriend, they like me. I cannot take her smacking me. It hurts. Like it hurts a lot. I can't take it. So come dance with me. So I bring her over. She dances with me. The football player gets the money, and I've been watching him. He gets the money, and he like kind of like, come on, like what are you waiting for? Like you looking at me, I'm looking at you. Come here. So I'm like, okay. So I get up and I leave the section. There's not a lot of money on the floor, so in my head, at first I was just like, oh, like she could probably keep dancing over here. I'm gonna go dance over there and come back or something. Like we could switch, like whatever. And I started thinking like, oh, maybe I should just start to pick it up, and we split that. And then, but then like the football players ended up being like 3,000. There was like 3 of us. So I was just like, 4 of us. I was just like, it doesn't make any sense to ask her to split that money, so she could just keep that or whatever. So at the end of the night, she was just like, oh, this is our money bag. She was like, oh, did you want to like split this money, or like, you know, what you want to do, or you just want to let me have this? I kind of didn't like that it was implied, but it was like, you know, like I get it, like, you know, you didn't really get any other sections. This is a section that I got, and it doesn't make any sense for me to be greedy and want this money and that money, especially since I left that section. So I was like, no, you keep that to yourself. Like I left and I went to another section. Like it is what it is. Out of town rules kind of stipulate, like if you walk off on the bag and go somewhere else and make money, if you don't bring that money back, then that money, the money you making with us, is forfeited. Keep that money that you left to go get. So at least that's Atlanta rules, and she lives in Atlanta, so I danced in Atlanta before, so it's like we understand. You know, and one thing else I didn't like about the first night that I worked, she went home. I had to count money with other girls, I believe. She went home with the money bag and didn't count it, didn't straighten it. So it's like I just finished straightening and counting money with these girls. Now I have to come back and deal with this and count and straighten this money while you're sleeping peacefully. I was kind of annoyed because it was just like, why didn't you just sit here with me while I'm counting this money, count our money, and go home? Like, it just didn't make any, or go back to the hotel. It didn't make any sense to me because I'm tired now and I still got to come in, straighten this. It's like, yeah, we could have waited till tomorrow, but when we got up in the morning, there was things to do, or in the afternoon, there was things to do. I ended up giving her the bag and going and making my money with some other girls or whatever. I had like 2 sections with other girls. So Sunday night, Baby comes in, right? So Baby comes in after hours, which apparently they never really do. I guess LA isn't really like dancer, like, I don't know. The vibe I got from LA that weekend was like, And then the vibe that I got the week that I stayed was like, what am I doing here kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, that's how I ended up coming to Miami. Baby comes in, he asks us for girls. There are certain girls that are brought to his section. Normally when I see Jada or her Baby or whatever, I usually dance for them. Like a long time ago, Miami, like he asked me to come dance with her. And then like we started following each other on Instagram, and like when she see me, she will always show love. She will always throw me money. She will always pick me to like come in her section to dance. And like it's kind of like, I guess like a thing. Like she see me, she say hi, and she's like, come here, like come dance. I'm like, okay. And I go over the rail because like to walk through it with so many girls, I didn't want to like, you know. So this is my thing. I'm not the kind of person that if I'm with you, it's like, oh, what about my friend? Not to say like I'm not worried about you, but it's just like every person has their preference. And if I'm standing with you, if it's somebody I know and I'm cool with, it's like, oh, my homegirl over there, like, you know. But in certain positions, I just don't feel like it's like the thing or etiquette to be like, oh, what about her? If she's standing next to me and you pinpointing me, then there's a reason, there's a preference. And it's to the person who's spending money's discretion, like it's their preference who they want to spend money on. So it wasn't like I was trying to be rude. It was like, oh, well, see you later. But it was just like, okay, like there was still other people in the club throwing money. There might have been like, you know, you never know with Baby if he's gonna go walk to the stage and throw money, like you don't know. So what ended up happening, and the club allowed it, and I was very upset at Cheetahs about this, but basically they let all the girls come to the section. every single girl. So it ended up being 33 girls in a pile. Mind you, Baby spent about $20,000 to $25,000 and wanted another 10 on top of that. And they didn't want to give it to him because the owner of the building, who is not the owner of Cheetahs, wanted to close. So they didn't give him the $10,000. That right there blew my mind. After that, and she kind of gave me a funny look when I got over there, and I was just like, I don't know. But I told her, like, Jada usually picks me, like, I don't know, like, you know, you from Atlanta, so I'm thinking like, you know somebody over here or something. Like, I'm like, Jada usually pick me to come in her section, so I don't know. She's like, oh, maybe she's gonna pick us. I'm like, yeah, maybe she will pick us. But I just don't be feeling comfortable with people that I'm not, like, friendly with to be like, oh, what about her? Like, I'm not, like, with anybody, you know? And if they tell me, like, oh, if I ask, like, oh, you want any more girls, or you need any more girls, then it's like, okay, cool. But if they didn't ask for any more girls, then it's like, you know, so every girl jumped over the rail after that, including herself or whatever, because at that point, it's like a free-for-all. Like, I'm going to get this money too. It got annoying because Baby doesn't like girls to dance on him. So he doesn't like girls too close to him. So the fact that all the girls trying to push and stand in front of him, it's just like, I get it. Like, y'all want to be in front of the person who I think is spending all the money, but he told us, like, he said, yo, tell them all to back up because I'm going to throw the money regardless. Y'all don't have to be standing in front of me like that. Y'all can dance. Like, my friends is here. So we telling the girls that they don't want to back up. So I said, you know what? Let me be a leading example. So I moved from where I'm at, and I go stand on the table, and I'm just, you know, minding my business. And he said, I want y'all to get naked. That's a normal thing. So some girls got a problem with that. I do feel like the girls who said no to that should have been told to leave the section. However, that's not my discretion. The club is how the club is, and they dropped the ball with that section completely, like 110% completely. And then on top of that, they held the money from the sections for like 2 hours and then told us we had to pay extra $50 per girl or something like that to stay after 7 o'clock. And it's like, if you would have gave us this money at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, we wouldn't be here at 9 o'clock to have to tip you. You feel me? Okay, there's a whole bunch of discrepancies within the bag, whatever. Oh, so earlier that day we had gotten into an argument because we had ended up going to the games party or whatever. His like cousin was trying to talk to me. His little cousin was trying to talk to me. It's long story short, he came out with us to go eat or something like that. And like he was kind of like a goofball. Let's just leave it at that. He did some things and he's acting a certain type of way that really just showed his age or kids maybe. He wanted to go like look for niggas to come to the club, and my whole thing was we've been ways. I don't do the whole looking for niggas thing. Like, if we run into them going out somewhere, we run into them. But to go actively search or go to spots to be single women looking around for niggas to invite to the club, I don't really do that. Like, if we going out with a group of people, we going out have fun with a bunch of girls, that's one thing. But like, just us two kind of looking for niggas, it's like, okay, we could go, but that's not really my thing, you know? Like, I'm not into stuff like that. Like, if I go to dinner and this guy's there, it's guy's there. That's just the end of it. If they come to the club after, they come to the club after. She has someplace she wanted to go because of somebody that she knew, and it was just like a discrepancy. So we had our own argument in the restaurant because she wanted to eat. It was like 8 something. I'm not paying no attention because I'm having a good time finally. Like, I'm around people that's actually talking, that's actually not weird vibe or anything like that. So I'm enjoying myself. At this point, it's like this trip has kind of been a dud. Let me just enjoy myself. I don't feel like driving all the way, taking an Uber all the way 45, 50 minutes downtown somewhere to get stuck there and then have to figure out a way to come all the way back up to where we're at to go to work at a certain time when it's traffic. It's already like 9 o'clock. I gave her my phone to call an Uber to go wherever she wanted to go, like, or wherever we were supposed to go. She didn't call it. Okay, cool. You must want to stay here, so whatever. When we got to the restaurant, we had a little discrepancy when he left the table, and I was just like, yo, bro, like, you made reservations at this restaurant at 9:45 p.m. talking about we got to be to work at 11 o'clock, and then you ordered drinks, you ordered appetizers, you ordered a meal, and then on top of everything, the food was whack. Like, the food was trash. So I was even more upset because I'm sitting here, and I'm eating my food, and I'm dissatisfied, and I don't want to eat it. Why? Like, why are we even here? If you want to be to work at a certain time, it's like, why are we not on our way there or whatever? So at this point in time, it's just like, I need a little break from the girl. I've already been on a trip with my best friend for a whole month and some change in a whole nother country. I need a break from being around somebody, especially a female, every single day like this. I leave the restaurant and I tell her, like, you made these reservations at 10 o'clock, knowing that the food wasn't even going to be out for another 30 minutes. Like, that wasn't smart. So to sit here and catch an attitude now because you pressed for time, that's kind of dumb on your end. So you can be mad at me for whatever this guy got going on and me inviting him here. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense on your end either. So Fab happened to be there, whatever. So I don't know if it's a mosquito in here or not, if I'm just, it's, sometimes I start thinking, oh, maybe I got bit by a mosquito. Yeah, so long story short, Fab's security was there. Well, Fab was there, his security was there. I'm kind of cool with him. So I'm talking to him and I'm just like, yeah, like, it just seemed like no rappers is coming out like that, no athletes is coming out like that. Like, maybe I'm at the wrong club, maybe I'm not seeing them, what case may be. And he was telling me, like, listen, like, even Fab turned down a hosting at a strip club because he ain't want to spend no money. Like, the girls out here is, they look like da-da-da-da, and the vibe is different. In LA, it's always weird when it comes to certain stuff like that. Like, the clubs, they don't be having, like, a lot of respect and stuff like that when people spending money and stuff because they feel like it's LA. And he was just like, a lot of artists that are out here are not coming out. A lot of rappers and stuff, like, they just having house parties, like, they just getting their singles and that's it. And I was just like, oh, okay, so like, if you know, and if you don't, you don't, and if it ain't happening, it ain't happening. He's like, yeah, plus like, it's a lot of girls out here that's like prostitutes. Well, I'm gonna go spend money in a strip club and it's like 1,000 prostitutes. So I'm laughing or whatever. Like, this is all waiting for her to get to the restaurant. And it's just like, I was kind of irritated. Like, even on the way to make the reservation, when she told me she made reservations, it was just like, why would you make reservations now at 10 o'clock? Like, the whole thing just didn't make any sense. So we kind of argued about that. And she was like, we're in public. I don't want to have this conversation. I was just like, I'm the type of person, if I don't talk about it right now, I'm not going to talk about it later. Or if I realize I'm too upset about something, I'll talk about it later when I'm able to do so. So I guess the vibe was kind of funny at that point or whatever case may be. The boy ended up dropping me off at the hotel. Like, oh, I guess, maybe I can make it up to y'all, take y'all out to eat later, whatever case may be. And I was just like, yeah, I'm over it. No thanks. Like, So then the Lil Baby situation happened. So next night is AOD Mondays. They were bringing it back one night only, supposedly, or whatever case may be, for like the Super Bowl. A different club. We had this whole thing. Everything was cool and whatnot. She left first because I was like taking my time and getting ready. I kind of really wanted to be by myself because at this point it was like, okay, whether or not the argument was her fault, my fault, whatever, I needed a break from people. And I wasn't ready to be in the same environment as another person, like in the same room kind of situation. So I should have known better. And that had nothing to do with her. And she probably wasn't aware. Like, I was already on edge with people just because I felt like I was around too many people for too long. I just was like, taking more time to get ready and stuff like that because I realized, like, whether I'm right or she's right or I'm wrong and she's wrong, I know I'm at edge. So I need to put some space in between me and whoever else is around me so I could be sane and so that they could be happy with me as a person. So I get to the club, some girl asked me, oh, you want to get on stage with me? And it's kind of like an earshot from her. And I was just like, well, I don't know. I came here with somebody. If she doesn't want to get on stage with me, then maybe I'll get on stage with you or whatever. She's like, well, who's the other girl? Because I guess like it was like 3 to 4 girl stage sets. So I pointed to her. And so the girl was like, oh, I'm looking for somebody that has the same, like, similar body type as me. We're, like, both top small, bottom heavy. The other girl, she's more top heavy than bottom heavy, excuse me. I was just like, well, I'll let you know, whatever case may be. So when I went back to ask her, like, did you figure out who you're going on stage with or do you want to go on stage with the both of us? She was going on stage with another girl. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We was looking around. I was trying to get into Von Miller's section. He picked other girls, or he let one of the other guys in his section pick the girl. I walked away. We were standing there together. We walked away from that section. We kind of like split up. She went to go dance with somebody she knew, and I went to go find somebody I didn't know. I'm standing there, and they're like, oh, move out the way, watch out, everybody watch out. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, Quavo and all of them is coming in. So they come in, they go to the section. Immediately, I already know that they're not going to like their section because of where it's being seated at. So I'm standing there and I'm just like, I usually have good luck with stuff like this. Let me stand here, you know what I'm saying? And they end up leaving and going like around the club to the front section where stage is. Me being me, I let all the girls run and everybody trying to figure out where they going and stuff like that. So when I seen where they going, I got down and I walked. So the stage is like this in the middle of the club. They're on this side when originally they were sitting on this side. So you have to walk down and go all the way around the stage and come back up to go over here, unless you want to walk around the way that they did. So because all the girls are following them, I went the opposite way. Because the girls who are this way are either in a section trying to get into one of these sections that's on this side of the stage, or they don't know who that is that went over there. So I go around and I'm standing there and security picks the girls. So he picks the one girl next to me and I'm just like, he picks her and picks like two other girls, and then he turned around, he see me and he like, go ahead, like what you waiting for? Stop treating my little behind in there. So at first we was worried because they was throwing like a lot of money on stage and stuff like that, and we like, yo, what if it's only like, you know, sometimes what happens is they don't throw all the money in a section because they're on stage. So unless they continue to get money, or unless other people come with money for the section, sometimes it gets a little difficult. It would end up being like 6 of us, or I can't remember. Even the bus boy, like the assistant bartender, he was trying to steal money in his bucket. I tapped him, I said, excuse me, empty the bucket right now. He said, huh? I said, okay. I moved the tissue off the top and there was a whole bunch of singles underneath there. I dug my hand in the bucket. I said, empty the bucket. You know what I'm saying. Don't play that. I don't speak English today right now. No. Put the tissue back. You could go. So he was mad. He was irritated. But it's like we're dancing for this money, and you feel like because there's an abundance of money that you could come over here and you could just take what you feel like is extra. Like, no. That doesn't work for us. Doesn't work for me. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work for any of the other girls here. So, minding our business, whatever. One of the girls I'm in the section with, I don't really know her. She looked familiar, but I'm just not sure from where. Like, I'm not good with that. I have having trouble placing her. And she asked me, she's like, you want to get on stage with me? And I was like, huh? I was like, I came here with somebody. She's like, you want to get on stage with me? I said, right now? But, like, they didn't call on it. She said, just come on stage with me. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get on this stage set with her, and then I'm going to turn around and get on stage with my homegirl. We get on stage, it's me, her, another girl. So I'm just like, do they have any more money to throw on stage? They did. They did their thing or whatever. Me, her, and her ended up splitting like $1,700 a piece after tipping like the guy who helped us pick up the money and straighten it and everything like that. So this is my assumption, right? When I got over to the section, it was after all the other girls had got over to the section, right? Somehow I managed to walk directly to the front of the section. But there was an abundance of girls waiting to get in the section. So this is my thing. If you weren't one of the girls standing there, I would assume that you are making money elsewhere, because it was announced several times that Migos, Quavo, and everybody's in the building. So I would think that you would be there if you wanted this money, like, you know? She ends up dancing like a T-Pain section. So what I didn't know is that T-Pain didn't throw a lot of money in his section. He was more so throwing it over the rail, like, which just fell down into our section or other sections, because the way the cameraman was facing, the money looked better going this way than that way. I'm not responsible for anybody else's money. If I have the opportunity to grab my phone and say, listen, like, come over here, blah, 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 or if I think you're not doing anything, then I'll do so. But in a situation like this, when everybody's shucking a job, and it's not my first priority to let somebody know that there's money over here, especially when there's a crap load of girls here. If you're not here, I'm thinking that you're somewhere else. So she waited for me to count the money with the other girls. I wasn't trying to hide how much I made or anything like that. It was like, if you see it, you see it. If you don't pay attention to it, you don't pay attention to it. Asked me, like, are you going? I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna go with you to the room. I'm gonna drop my stuff off. I got this other girl's money, and I have to go count another bag. They already went to the owner, manager of the club's house to go count it, because they didn't know they told them that they was gonna close. They didn't want to stay here and then get kicked out with all the money, because we didn't think it was going to be enough time to count it all. We went, and I told them I'd catch up with them, take my number, send me the address. And so I went to the room, dropped my stuff off, and then I went to the club to count the rest of my money. So when I came back, it might have been like 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that, or 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I felt like the vibe was funny a little bit. Sure why. I wasn't sure why she wasn't in the Migos section. I wasn't sure why she was sitting over there. And I wasn't about to ask, because to me it's just like, you must have made your money somewhere else. You don't need to only make singles in the strip club. You can make big bills. You can get tipped for your time. You could be talking to a nigga and he just give you $1,000 just for talking. And if you don't have to dance, that might be better for you. Even if you only made $1,000, you didn't do anything. You feel me? So I don't know what, she's a good talker. I don't know what's going on. she wanted to talk to me. She was supposed to leave the following day to go to Vegas, which was Tuesday. So I'm thinking that she's leaving that night. I'm asleep because I'm just like, you know, she'll wake me up whenever she's checking out, and then I'll just go downstairs and put my card down, whatever case may be. She ends up staying another night. So we go out to eat or whatever. I feel like when I was to eat that day, we didn't go to work. The club was closed and we hadn't gone anywhere else. We just kind of took a break. So she was just like, you know, I just kind of want to know, like, how come? Because she asked me how much I made. I was like, I mean, she was just like, you know, how come you didn't call me in the section, like text me, like, damn, let me see. Like, how, you know, how come you didn't hit me to let me know, like, what was going on? And I was just like, honestly, I just assumed that if he wasn't over there when everybody made the announcement and all the other girls standing over there, that you were already in the section somewhere. There was other people throwing money at the time or getting their singles, bringing their bottles out. So I just figured you might have knew somebody over there and didn't want to come, you know? He was like, you know, I saw you on stage with these other girls, and it's like, you see those girls, they came together and they made money together the whole time. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me why you would come here, and I kind of begged you to come here. And like, you know, I got you in the club and I got you in this club, and you know, like, these are my peoples. And I was just like, I was slightly offended that she felt like, because it sounds to me like you feel like I used you to make money and didn't make money with you, and that's what you're upset about. But in reality, it was just like, I'm always going to get in where I fit in. Like, not on some, I'm taking advantage of situation, but we're not always going to get picked by the same people. We're not always going to get put in the same positions. We're not always going to make the same amount of money. It's not a competition. It's cool. I like you. You know, you get money, I get money. But at the end of the day, if you don't be on your own P's and Q's, I'm not here to guide you through nothing. I'm not here to, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, come here, no, let's go here. I'm not that person. I'm usually the one that my friends like, come on, let's go make some money. I'm like, I don't want to talk to people. That's usually me. So I'm looking at the situation like, when I left you, you was dancing for somebody. When they made the announcement, when they came into the first section, they made the announcement, and it was a whole bunch of girls there. You weren't one of the girls standing there. When they made the second, third, fourth, and fifth announcement, when they got in the section, you still weren't one of the girls standing in the section. So to me, it's not, oh, call her and tell her they over here. You know these people, you know? So if you wanted to come over here, you would have made your way to find them. In my head, she's doing something. She's working somewhere else. She's in a section. She said she was talking to somebody she knew, and she wasn't paying too much attention, and she wasted her time talking to him. And I'm just like, apparently the T-Pain section didn't work out. They didn't make a lot of money. And it was just like, everybody came down here to do something. We all got something to do. We all got bills to pay. We all got goals to achieve at the end of the day. Excuse me if worrying about if you can get in a section or if your money is right or what you're doing right now, if that's not like a major concern of mine. It's not anything personal. It's not like, oh, I, you know, fuck her, whatever. It's just, I'm in my own world trying to make sure I can even get my foot in the door. You feel me? So expect me to, if I can put you onto some money, like, oh, let me bring my friend here. Or oh, I seen this person. I told them I got a homegirl and they want us to come. Okay, cool. But most of the time, I always end up making money with girls that I don't know, because either we look the same or we attract the same type of guy. We look the part, whatever it is. You know, we finessed our way, however it goes. If I'm making a bag somewhere and you making a bag somewhere, it would have been no problem. But because you didn't get into a section, or because you didn't get into a lucrative enough section, I feel like you kind of pulling my coattail like, oh, that's shady. I don't think so. Obviously, because I'm the one. If it would have been vice versa, I would have had to ask myself, what were you doing when they were making these big announcements? What were you doing? What were you focused on that made you drop the ball with your money? It's not the other person's fault. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't doing something. Okay, I know this person's going to be here. I know I'm from the same city as them. Or I live in the same city as them. I get money with them on a regular. So when they see me, they gonna mess with me. That's like, to me, that's like, hello, that makes sense. So if you drop the ball on that, that's your decision, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe it would have been nice for me to text you, like, yo, listen, such and such over here, I'm about to walk into the section, see if you come over here and get in the section. You gotta understand, a lot of artists, they don't want phones pulled out. They don't want girls texting, sending messages. They don't like, oh, she on her phone writing people, looking up, looking around. Like, you might be trying to do something funny, especially nowadays. So I'm just never the girl to pull out her phone in the section with an artist or something like that. Like, I really try not to. I'll wait till y'all leave to take my own little money video when y'all gone, or talk about it, whatever. And I just try to let her know, like, I wasn't trying to be like offensive or like I wasn't trying to exclude you out of anything. I just genuinely thought that you was somewhere else making some type of money, and I just didn't think twice about it, because I just figured if you didn't see me, I'm somewhere making money. If I didn't see you, you somewhere making money. I'm not thinking you just sitting around or you wasting your time, whatever the case may be. Whatever, we didn't go to work that day. So Wednesday, I think she ended up leaving, and it was still a little funny vibe, but I was like, okay. Well, she was like, you know, well, maybe I'll see you in Cleveland if you decide to come or whatever case may be. And I was like, yeah, I'll let you know. I'm gonna look at the flights and stuff like that. So I told her, like, you know, I texted her, like, she said she was going to Vegas. We're in LA. Text her like 3-4 hours later, like, hey, let me know when you land. I texted her like an hour or two later, like, hey, let me know you got to the airport safe. My text message went through. I gave her like 4 or 5 hours. She ain't answer. I'm just like, okay, whatever, no smoke. I see her posting up in the story. I see her having fun in Vegas. I'm like, okay, like, same, you know, whatever, all right. She's enjoying herself. She probably just needed a break from everything. So a couple days ago, actually, and this was like February 16th that this happened, right? Because she left Wednesday and I was still out there. I stayed in LA. I flew to Miami Saturday and I went straight to work. I went straight to Booby Trap February 19th. So I've been out here. I've been in Miami for almost a month now. Was going through my text messages. When I get mad at whoever, I delete all my text messages. I delete all my call log because I just don't want to see nobody, talk to nobody, whatever. I read the messages to see if it's an important message or if we left off somewhere that I need to keep. Go to her messages and I'm just like, damn, she never answered me. And as I'm reading the message, the bubble at the bottom is green. Green? She got an iPhone. I have 2 phones. So this is in my personal phone that her number is green. So I'm like, okay, let me check my other phone. So I check my other phone. It's green. Both of the numbers I have for her are green. So I'm just laughing. Let me check Instagram. Because last time I checked, we were still following each other. I was still following her. I was like, I haven't seen a story in a couple days. Let me check Instagram. I go check Instagram. This girl has unfollowed me. This girl has removed me as a follower from her page too. I started laughing. I didn't go to Cleveland. I was going to leave to go to Cleveland Friday. I didn't go to Cleveland Friday because I couldn't get a flight. However, Saturday, I was able to catch a flight. I was able to find a flight to Miami. I couldn't find any flights to Cleveland from LA that wasn't like with a layover of more than like 12 hours, which means I would have left at nighttime in LA and I would have missed the work shift in Cleveland for All-Star. And I would have then arrived so say if I left Friday night, I wouldn't have got to Cleveland until Saturday morning due to like layovers and everything like that. There was no more direct flights. There was only layovers, and it didn't make sense to me for me to waste a day. Plus the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that I worked in LA was trash, like trash. I don't know. Maybe it was just because of the whole big weekend, or maybe that club is just not it right now. I don't know. I'm going to give it a try again. I was working at Cheetah's. I'm going to give it a try again, and I'm going to go to Crazy Girls, I think it is, or Sam's or something like that, and I'm going to see how I like that. Maybe it's just I wasn't at the right club. Maybe that's not the club that's a speed for me. I felt like the girls, I ain't going to lie, I felt like the girls look funny. There's nothing wrong with natural bodies. I have no objection to natural bodies. I was natural my whole dancing career up until like 3-4 months ago. So I don't have no issue with natural bodies. However, like when you look like little boys and like real, like that may be somebody's style, slim girls, they're not wearing no makeup, their hair is not done up to T. It's kind of like weird to me, I'm be honest. But I come from a fast-paced city and I feel like LA is like a lot more chill, laid back, relaxed. So maybe that's the thing out there. I see her go to Cleveland Saturday and I was gonna write her like, oh, how is it? But at that point, it's like the All-Star game is like tomorrow or it's like Saturday or Sunday. Made no sense for me to even come, so I'm gonna just go to Miami. So she was actually out here in Miami. I don't know if she was working. I don't know if she was just hanging out for a couple of days. She must have like, I don't know, she realized like, oh, we're in the same city. Like, let me remove her now so she don't see my stories and stuff like that. In my head, it's just like, you corny. And this just lets me know that you're angry at the fact that you feel like I didn't help you get a bag or bring you to the money or whatever case may be. It's like, yes, you knew the people at the club to get me to work at the club or sneak me in, because that's really what happened. You snuck me in with you, and nobody just said anything about it because they figured that when you spoke for you, you spoke for both of us. If you feel like what I did was shady or childish or something like that, I feel like it's just more of like how you're looking at things, your perspective. Like, if you would have made $5,000 in a section and I was busy gawking, running my jibs to some guy that's not going to give me nothing, that's my own fault. because we came there equally to get money, and neither one of us is responsible for the other person's amount of money that they bring or the amount of money that they, you know, make. You holding me responsible because you didn't make a check that night? Like, the fact that you even unfollowed me or anything like that, it's like, that's just corny. But this just goes to show you, a lot of girls don't understand is when you dance, these girls are not your friends. You can make money together. You can make money together every day. You could be partners every day. I've seen it so many times. Girls fall out over bare minimum bull crap. I had a partner who one day, I think I came to work late, which I normally do. Whatever money she makes before I get there, she keeps to herself. And when we get there, we work together. So she had a customer come in who spent like $4,000 or $5,000 on her. She didn't even tell him to put me on stage with her. Like, she made sure I was on a different stage set. Like, our names are on 2 different, like, sections when I even came downstairs. And it was just like, normally she all in my face speaking to me, oh, you go straight back to the guy, right? You don't want to say nothing? You don't want to stop and talk to your friend and speak? That cost her partner for, like, keep that energy. And it's like, she may watch this and she may see it and be like, oh, that's why we stopped working together? Yeah, that's why we stopped working together, because that was childish. Because when I got a bag, I share. But that also made me realize that you can work with a girl and break bread with her every single day. And guess what? When she feel like changing up over that money, she gonna do so. You feel like I didn't get you in on some money that I wasn't sure I was gonna get in on? Whatever. But just know when you see me, if you see me and my peoples in the section, baby girl, best not never come over here and ask for no wristband. Like, that was just whack. Like, girls are so weird over money, especially dancers that have been in the game for a while. Sometimes they feel like they're owed a certain level of respect or they're owed a certain level of courtesy. And it's like, yeah, it would have been nice if I wrote you and told you, oh, come over here, blah, blah. But that's not my job. I'm not responsible to keep you on your P's and toes. It would have been nice. And maybe if we was making money like together the whole night, going everywhere dancing together, then okay, I would understood. But since we first got here, that wasn't our thing. We was going, venturing out, walking, wandering here because we work differently. And we met up on stage. That was it. Oh, and then the whole thing was, I got on stage that time with those 2 girls. The girl, we was bored and I wanted to go on stage. I didn't understand why DJ didn't call me, the girl I came with, and whoever else. So I asked him, like, I want to go on stage. He was ignoring me, so I did what I know to do and how I am with anybody, anywhere. I got on stage and I told the girls, like, yeah, I've been up here for like 15 minutes. I moved their money over and I made space for myself to get on stage because otherwise I would not have gotten on stage. So the 2 girls who I was on stage with earlier also got on stage. They're hardworking girls. They, like, you know, try to grab somebody and pull them to the stage, get attention. So they was like, oh, I see an opportunity, take an opportunity. That's what they did. If you was sitting somewhere looking around feeling sorry for yourself, oh, damn, I didn't make no money tonight, that's not on me. Every opportunity that I got awarded, I made. I made sure I was there. I made sure I was in the front. I made sure I was standing here. I made sure I spoke to this person. I made sure I grabbed the back of the girl's shirt. Like, turn around. Like, you got $1,000 in your hand. Turn around. Like, what are you doing? You know, it is what it is. Especially when there's 1,000 girls, or not 1,000, but like, especially when there's like over 100 girls in a space. Like, you have to take those opportunities and get your money, because you are the only person that's gonna worry about you. Now, I know you're probably wondering, like, oh, you wouldn't be saying this if this girl was watching. I made the video. The video is public. I know she's going to watch it. Why? Because somebody is going to tell her, like, didn't you go with her to LA? Wasn't y'all together? Y'all was posting each other. It's nothing personal. It's not no shade. It's not no nothing. It's just like, this is just an example to dancers, potential dancers, or for your entertainment, I guess, of a situation that I went through. And it goes to show you, you could break bread with a girl, but a person's character says a lot. So this is somebody who I went on multiple trips, but I met up with in multiple different places and made money with, or seen her in multiple different places and made money with. So we may see each other, we may be in a section together, probably won't speak. I know me, I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't have nothing to say to you because you moving weird to me. Because if you want to fall out with me over something that is none of my business, it's just like, keep it like that. That's just how I feel. Keep it like that. A lesson to dancers, like I said, just pay attention. Like, You go to work to make money and not friends. Like, my mom has always told me that you go to work to make money, not friends. You go to school to learn, not to make friends. People in certain situations are unreliable. You cannot expect people to do for you what you would do for them, one, and you cannot expect somebody to do for you as they would do for themselves. I know it sounds like it's the same thing, but it's two different things. I would do anything to make sure I win, not anything, but within my morals to make sure that I win. And I'm going to make sure that I treat people according to how they respect me and things like that. Lesson to the dancers, these girls are not your friends. You go to work to make money, not friends. A lot of these girls you meet, you dance with in sections, they'll be the same ones that want to mess with your dude or cut your throat in a section or whatever the case may be, whatever's going to get them to the next level. And a lot of the times, y'all friendships that's built off of this club life, it's not real. It doesn't work because when there's no money involved and you're not beneficial and you're just being a genuine person, it doesn't work because maybe that's not what they are. I'm not saying that that's her in this situation. This is somebody who potentially could have been my friend or a close associate, or whatever the case may be. And this is what happened because she felt like I didn't go out of my way or make sure she made money. So to each his own. This is just my story, what happened in Super Bowl weekend. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have enjoyed. Hope this video wasn't too long for you. Stay tuned for another twerk tale. Bye.